Volkswagen makes some genuinely great cars, but not every VW that's ever rolled off a lot deserves a spot in your driveway, especially once it's a few years old and sitting on a used car lot with a clean-looking price tag. Some models come with problems so consistent, so expensive, and so well documented that mechanics see them coming before the customer even finishes describing the noise. The tricky part is that these cars often look completely fine on a test drive. Engines run smooth at idle, the interior feels tight, and the price seems like a genuine bargain compared to a Honda or Toyota with similar mileage. It's only weeks or months later, once a specific part finally gives out, that the real cost of ownership shows up. Today we're covering 7 Volkswagen models that come with a real risk of turning your bargain into a money pit, and exactly why each one earned its spot on this list. None of these are universal death sentences. Plenty of careful owners have kept examples of every model here running well past 150,000 miles, but the odds are stacked against you unless you know exactly what to look for before you sign anything. Model number 1. Volkswagen Passat TDI, 2009 to 2015. The diesel Passat should have been one of VW's crowning achievements, a fuel-sipping, torque-rich sedan that made long highway drives feel effortless. Instead, it became the face of one of the largest scandals in automotive history when Volkswagen was caught using software to cheat emissions, testing on these exact diesel engines. Beyond the legal and environmental fallout, the affected vehicles that went through the emissions fix afterward often saw real changes in performance, fuel economy, and in some cases long-term reliability, since the software and hardware modifications weren't part of the car's original engineering. On top of the emissions issue, these TDI engines carry their own list of expensive problems, including turbocharger failures, fuel injector issues that can run well over $1,000 to correct, and timing belt service that's far more involved and costly than a typical gas engine. Finding a diesel specialist who still wants to work on these engines gets harder every year as the platform ages out of daily relevance. Unless you're specifically seeking out a well-documented dealership-serviced example with every recall and update applied and full records to prove it, this is one of the riskier used Volkswagens on the entire market, and the risk rarely matches the reward at typical used pricing. Insurance and resale value took a hit across the board for these diesel Passats too, which sounds like it should make them cheaper, and therefore more appealing, but it actually reflects a market that's collectively decided these cars carry more risk than a typical used sedan. When shopping for one, ask directly whether the emissions modification was completed, request the paperwork showing it, and budget for the possibility of major diesel-specific repairs even on an otherwise well-maintained example, because the underlying hardware issues on this platform exist independently of the emissions controversy. Model number 2. Volkswagen Tiguan, 2009 to 2013 first generation. The first-generation Tiguan looked like a smart, right-sized SUV when it launched, but early examples developed a reputation for turbocharger and timing chain problems that showed up well before most owners expected major work. The 2.0T engine used a timing chain tensioner design that, on higher mileage examples, would stretch and rattle, and in the worst cases lead to the chain skipping and causing serious internal engine damage that isn't cheap to repair. Water pump failures were also a recurring complaint on these years, often failing well before the mileage where most owners expect that kind of part to need attention. And the electric water pump design on some model years made replacement more expensive than a traditional mechanical pump would have been. Add in electrical gremlins with the infotainment and window systems that owners frequently reported, and the ownership experience on a high-mileage first-gen Tiguan can feel like a constant string of small, annoying repairs punctuated by occasional expensive ones, the kind that chip away at the sense of a bargain purchase one repair bill at a time. Suspension components on these early Tigans also tend to wear faster than owners expect, with control arm bushings and sway bar links showing up as recurring repair items once a vehicle crosses the 80,000 to 100,000 mile range, which further adds to the sense that ownership becomes a steady drip of smaller bills, rather than one single catastrophic failure. Individually, none of these repairs are necessarily bank-breaking, but they compound quickly on a vehicle already carrying the risk of a much larger timing chain or turbocharger repair down the line. If you're set on this generation, prioritize examples with documented timing chain service and a clean maintenance history over anything with a suspiciously low asking price, since that low price is very often reflecting problems the seller already knows about. It's also worth noting that many of these early Tiguan complaints cluster around vehicles that skipped or delayed the recommended oil change intervals, since the turbocharged engine is noticeably less forgiving of extended oil change intervals than older naturally aspirated rated VW engines were. A Tiguan with a spotty oil change history is a much bigger red flag on this platform than it would be on a simpler, less highly strung engine. So pay close attention to how consistently the previous owner actually kept up with service, not just whether they say they did. Model number 3, Volkswagen CC, 2009 to 2017. The CC turned heads with genuinely stunning styling, a four-door coupe silhouette that looked far more expensive than its price tag suggested. But that swooping roofline came with real trade-offs that show up years later in the used market. Sunroof drainage issues are one of the most commonly reported problems, where clogged or poorly designed drain tubes let water pool and eventually leak into the cabin, sometimes causing electrical issues or mold problems that are unpleasant and expensive to fully resolve. The CC also inherited many of the same turbocharged four-cylinder and VR6 engine issues found across the Volkswagen lineup from this era, including carbon buildup on direct injection engines that gradually robs performance and can eventually cause rough idling or misfires if never addressed with a proper intake valve cleaning. Interior electronics, particularly the complex climate control and infotainment integration, tend to develop quirks as the car ages, from unresponsive touchscreens to climate systems that stop communicating properly with the rest of the car's electrical architecture. Because the CC was always a lower volume model compared to the Jetta or Passat, parts availability and specialist knowledge can also be harder to come by, which tends to push repair costs higher than you'd expect for a car in this price range. The styling that made the CC so appealing in the showroom also works against it on the used market in a less obvious way. That low, swooping roofline reduces rear headroom and visibility compared to a standard Passat, which means resale demand skews toward buyers prioritizing looks over practicality, a smaller pool that makes it harder to find a genuinely well-cared-for example compared to more mainstream models. Take your time searching rather than settling for the first CC that shows up in your price range. Model number 4, Volkswagen Touareg V10 TDI, 2004 to 2006. This one is almost a cautionary tale on its own. The V10 TDI Touareg was an engineering flex, a massive 10-cylinder diesel engine stuffed into a mid-size luxury SUV, producing enormous torque and genuinely impressive towing capability for its era. The problem is that a powertrain this complex, this early in Volkswagen's diesel development, comes with a maintenance bill to match its ambition. Air suspension failures are extremely common on these early Touaregs, and replacing air struts on all four corners can cost more than many buyers paid for the entire vehicle. The V10 diesel engine itself is a nightmare to work on in tight engine bays, meaning even routine maintenance takes a specialist significantly longer than a typical job, and that labor time gets billed straight to the owner. Beyond the suspension and engine access issues, the electrical architecture on these early Touaregs shares components with other Volkswagen Group vehicles from the same era that have developed their own reputations for wiring harness and module failures as they age. Diagnosing an intermittent electrical fault on a 15-plus-year-old luxury SUV with this level of complexity often means hours of diagnostic labor before a technician even identifies the actual part that needs replacing, and that diagnostic time adds up fast on an hourly rate. Parts for this specific engine and drivetrain combination are increasingly scarce 2 decades later, since so few were sold relative to VW's gas-powered lineup, and finding a technician who's genuinely comfortable working on one is a real challenge outside of major cities. Unless you're a dedicated enthusiast with deep pockets and a trusted specialist already lined up, this is one of the most expensive used Volkswagens you could possibly choose. Even fuel costs work against this Touareg in a way that's easy to overlook when you're focused on the appeal of a 10-cylinder diesel. Finding diesel fuel that meets the engine's specific requirements isn't always straightforward depending on where you live, and the fuel economy advantage that diesel engines typically offer gets eaten up quickly by a vehicle this heavy. Add the depreciation from a limited buyer pool who understands and wants this specific engine, and you're looking at a vehicle that's genuinely difficult to own well unless you go in with your eyes fully open. Model number 5, Volkswagen Jetta 1.4 TSI 2012 to 2014. The smaller 1.4 TSI engine was introduced as a fuel-efficient alternative to the larger 2.0T, and on paper it looked great, offering solid power with better economy numbers. In practice, these engines developed a reputation for timing chain tensioner failures that could occur with surprisingly little warning, sometimes leading to the chain jumping and causing significant internal engine damage that often means a full engine replacement rather than a simple repair. What makes this particularly frustrating for owners is that the failure doesn't always come with a long buildup of obvious symptoms. Some owners reported the engine running fine one day and developing a serious rattle or check engine light the next, with a mechanic diagnosing a chain that had already stretched beyond safe limits. Volkswagen did issue technical service bulletins and extended warranty coverage on some of these engines, but coverage windows have expired for most examples still on the used market today. Repair shops that specialize in Volkswagen and Audi products, since the two brands share a lot of engine technology, have become quite familiar with this specific failure pattern over the years, which is actually good news for buyers in one sense. A competent independent VW specialist can usually give you a fairly confident read on the condition of the timing chain just from a cold start listen and a look at the service history without needing to tear into the engine itself. Before buying any 1.4 TSI Jetta from these years, insist on service records showing the timing chain tensioner was inspected or replaced, and consider having an independent mechanic listen to the engine cold, since a rattling start is one of the clearest warning signs of a tensioner on its way out. It's worth pointing out that this same generation of Jetta also offered a 2.5-liter 5-cylinder engine option that largely avoided the timing chain issues plaguing the 1.4 TSI, making it a genuinely safer choice if you like everything else about this generation but want to sidestep the risk entirely. If you're set on the turbocharged engine specifically for the better fuel economy, just go in knowing exactly what you're taking on and budget accordingly for the possibility of major engine work down the road. Model number 6, Volkswagen Beetle Turbo, 2012 to 2016. The redesigned Beetle brought genuine driving enjoyment to a nameplate that had leaned heavily on cute styling for over a decade, and the turbocharged models in particular offered surprisingly fun performance. But these Beetles share their underlying platform and engine options with other Volkswagens on this list, which means they inherit many of the same direct injection carbon buildup issues, occasional coil pack failures, and water pump concerns that plague the broader lineup from this era. Beetle-specific problems add another layer of risk on top of that shared platform baseline. Owners have reported window regulator failures that leave windows stuck partway up or down, and the car's tighter engine bay compared to a Golf or Jetta on the same platform can make even routine maintenance jobs take longer and cost more in labor. Because the Beetle was never as high volume as VW's core sedans, resale values and parts availability trail behind the rest of the lineup, and finding a shop that keeps Beetle-specific parts in stock rather than special ordering them can be a genuine hassle. A well-documented, lower mileage example driven gently can still be a fun and reasonably reliable choice. But a neglected high-mileage Beetle Turbo is one of the pricier ownership experiences on this list relative to its used market value. Because the Beetle attracts a somewhat different buyer than a typical Golf or Jetta, often someone drawn to the styling and personality of the car rather than pure practicality, you'll sometimes find examples that were genuinely babied and driven sparingly, which can work in your favor if you're patient about the search. Look specifically for lower annual mileage and a history of enthusiast ownership, rather than a string of short-term owners, since that pattern tends to correlate with a car that's been better cared for overall. Model number 7, Volkswagen Atlas, 2018 to 2019 first model years. As Volkswagen's first genuine three-row SUV for the American market, the Atlas launched with high expectations and a lot of new engineering that hadn't been fully proven yet in real-world conditions. Early Atlas owners reported a range of issues, including transmission hesitation and rough shifting that Volkswagen addressed through several software updates over the following years, along with infotainment systems that would occasionally freeze or reboot unexpectedly while driving. The V6 engine option in these early years also saw complaints about oil consumption between scheduled changes, a problem that's shown up across several manufacturers' engines from this general era, but still represents a real cost and inconvenience for owners who have to top off oil more frequently than the manual suggests, or risk running the engine low without realizing it. Volkswagen has genuinely improved the Atlas significantly in the years since launch, ironing out many of these early issues through updates and running changes, which is exactly why these first two model years stand out as the ones to approach carefully. If you're shopping for a used Atlas, a 2020 or newer example with the benefit of those fixes already built in from the factory is a meaningfully safer bet than chasing a slightly cheaper first-year model. It's a pattern that shows up across the auto industry with any brand new platform, where the very first model years essentially serve as a real-world proving ground before the manufacturer works out the kinks through updates and revisions. The Atlas isn't unique in that sense, but because it launched with an unusually large number of new components specific to Volkswagen's American lineup, the gap between an early example and a refined later one is more noticeable than it typically would be with a more incremental redesign. The bottom line: none of these 7 Volkswagens are inherently bad cars, and plenty of owners have driven high-mileage examples of every model on this list without major issues. But each one comes with a well-documented pattern of expensive, predictable problems that a private seller or a used car lot isn't going to volunteer during a 5-minute test drive. The difference between a great used Volkswagen and an expensive mistake almost always comes down to maintenance records, a pre-purchase inspection from someone who knows these specific engines and platforms, and a willingness to walk away from a deal that feels too good to be true. If a seller can't produce documentation or gets vague when you ask pointed questions about timing chains, turbochargers, or air suspension service, treat that hesitation as your answer and keep looking for a car with a paper trail to back up its price. A few $100s spent on a thorough pre-purchase inspection before you buy is nothing compared to the thousands you could spend fixing a problem the seller already knew about and simply didn't mention. Volkswagen builds cars that reward careful ownership and punish neglect more severely than most competitors. And knowing which models demand the most caution is the single best tool you have walking into any used car lot.